It appears we have reached the moral victory segment of our program, as that's where the Nuggets have gotten to with all their injuries. They hung tough with the Pistons, but ultimately fall. The big question, though, is this stretch going to take too much out of the Nuggets for their title hopes? We'll tell you why or why not coming up on Locked On Nuggets.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for joining us and making us part of your day, being an everydayer and making us your first listen. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially the members of our Everydayers Club, which you can sign up for at lockedonnuggets.supercast.com, and you can join folks in the Discord arguing about whether Cam Johnson is a good player or not, apparently. Also, we have really good conversations in there. We're going to be doing trade talk of the day in there between now and the deadline. You can also get stuff like I do scouting reports on every game. I'll have one for the rest of the weekend going forward that gives you in-depth breakdowns on what to expect that night from the Nuggets and their opponent. Ryan's got a trade deadline primer. Swipe it will do something eventually. There's lots of stuff in there that's going to be great. Just make sure to sign up at lockedonnuggets.supercast.com. Appreciate you guys being with us, whether you're joining us at youtube.com/lockedonnuggets or if you're listening to us on a podcast, wherever you get your podcast. My name is Matt Moore. I've been covering the Nuggets in the building of Ball Arena for 14 seasons, back when it was Pepsi Center. Now it's Ball Arena. I've been covering him since the George Karl days is how long I've been doing it. And that now sounds very old. Ryan Blackburn has been in the building for almost a decade now, close to a decade.
Yeah, we're on that side of it as opposed to the 5-year side of it. Yeah.
Ryan Blackburn can catch his work at Mile High Sports, milehighsports.com. He posted some great quotes from David Adelman that he had comments about what's happened in Minnesota. You can catch those over the Mile High Sports Instagram page as well. On today's show, we will talk about the Nuggets loss to the Detroit Pistons. We'll talk about why they lost and what happened and all of the things that happened in that basketball contest between two basketball teams. I guess it's really hard to. The Nuggets are like.
Here's the thing: like,
ooh.
Jamal is the only starter that the Nuggets have healthy right now, and Detroit. They were like, you heard them after the game, like in the post game. We, as has been common when the Nuggets lose, if they do lose at home, you hear the opposing team celebrate, and the Pistons were celebrating tonight. They were very happy. This is a new era for them. They are a really good basketball team. Matt, yes. I will go as far to say as they are the best basketball team I have seen in Denver this year.
Wow,
that's really I don't think that there is another one that has been better so far. They deserve a lot of credit. And
I don't know. The Russell Westbrook Kings.
Hey, Russell Westbrook spurned is one of the best players of all time.
Sure.
But like Detroit was clearly motivated, and the Nuggets still somehow managed to make this a 2-point game at the end of it. Like there was some shot variance there. There was some fighting. Like clearly there was some stuff that Denver was able to get out of it. But like the fact that they even had an opportunity to go to overtime at the end, I think is a testament to the competitiveness and the overall ability of this team to just make things tough on the opposition on a consistent basis.
Yeah, this is like we're in like this really weird place. Okay, so like Danny Biggs says, really bad loss, completely winnable game, and the Nuggets needed to steal one before the stretch gets ugly. Sir, you just faced the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. And if you're like, who's the Eastern Conference? How about the number 2 defense in the entire NBA? Top 5 in point differential. By the way, they're on track for 40-20, top 3 seed, and the SRS 4.0. They are legitimately a title contender.
And the only guy that they had missing was Karis LeVert, who their team and their fans kind of think is a good thing.
I know, which sucks because I think Karis is really good.
He's a good player.
The Nuggets should be beyond, like I should not be on a Locked On Nuggets podcast in 2026 being like moral victories. That's how many injuries they have that we have to be like, really good effort, guys. Like it was a disaster matchup. We thought early on, like I leaned over to Vinny Benedetto and was like, you can start the gamer. I was like, you can go ahead and start it. Ryan was like, this thing is over because they were dead in the first half.
Dead.
And I will say, like the fact, here's the bigger takeaway honestly for me. The fact that they were able to claw this back into a 1-possession game with a chance for Jamal to tie it at the line twice is honestly, it is a good sign because what it means is that this team stays together, right? They don't spiral. Guys don't start looking for their own stuff. You don't see them playing undisciplined. You don't see them playing like soloing, going off, like going in professional wrestling, going into business for themselves. The Nuggets did not go into business for themselves at all in this game. And that's a really positive sign. They need to win the game because of the stakes, but they can't win the game because they're missing too many guys. Like, I don't know how to parse it. But I can tell you, like, just from this perspective, Jamal misses a bunch of free throws tonight, missed 2 clutch ones, had to miss the last one on purpose because he missed another clutch one. You can imagine how much Jamal was killing himself after the game. And it really sucks that so many of these losses are like Jamal at the podium having to be like, I just got to be better. When it's just like me, Jamal has been more of a jerk to me than anyone else in the media room. I am the undisputed king of Jamal hates me. Like, he may have had an issue with Brendan Vogt for a second. He told Brendan Vogt he looked nice the other night. Jamal Murray's never told me I look nice. I've never looked nice. But anyway, really nice that night. Even I am just like wanting to be like, Jamal, man, like, be easy on yourself. It's like you did everything you can here. You missed and Adelman said this after the game, and he's right. Jamal's made those free throws before. He's going to make them again. Jamal's a great free throw shooter. This is not an endemic problem. This is a one-off situation on a one-off night where, quite honestly, they shouldn't have played. It's funny because you're like, this was like the best team that I think I've seen in Denver. And I'm like, man, Pistons got to play a lot better than this.
Well, I mean, Denver dragged them down. And that's, I think, a credit to the Nuggets is that despite the fact, and look, there were so many things that I thought Denver was a little bit flawed with, but overall, I thought their team defense tonight was really good. Like, there are some individual matchups and some stuff that I think they could have certainly improved upon, but a lot of positives from this particular game, I think, and a lot of ways that, look, as Denver, like, in order to beat a team like that a team like Detroit that is as good as they are, you have to do a lot of crazy stuff, and you got to play really, really hard. And that team makes you play so physical, man. I'm just very impressed with the level of physicality that they bring on a consistent basis.
On a very like micro level, because I asked Adam about this after the game. A lot of defenses are good because guys know where to stand.
Yeah.
And the Pistons thing is that, like, every single time the Nuggets late in the game were trying to screen free, the Pistons just literally were like, no. They blew up so many screens. There was one where Javonte Green picked up an offensive foul because Zeke Naji couldn't hold up and just like fell over. And Javonte Green's looking at the official like, it's not my fault. He can't set a screen and not fall over. Like, they're so big. They're so physical. They're so disciplined. Their defense legitimately is amazing.
Yeah.
And like, do you know they're number one in opponent turnover rate? They're better than the Thunder in that category.
I believe it because I turned to you at the beginning of that game, and I made a post that was basically akin to, I don't think the Pistons are doing anything crazy. It's the Nuggets that are making unforced errors. But there is this certain amount of, like, you put a team in position to make unforced errors because of how physical you are, how tough you are, how you take those teams out of the matchups that they're trying to like get into and certain sets that they're trying to get into. And the Pistons do a great job of that. Can I give you a stat that sort of refutes the Jamal Murray clutch point? In this season, Jamal Murray is now shooting 70% from the free throw line in the clutch. He's 19 of 27. It is such a small sample size over the course of a 10-year career that I don't think it means much of anything. However, this year, Jamal has missed more free throws in the clutch than he usually does. I don't know if that's notable or not, but it was happening earlier in the season as well. And perhaps it's a stylistic thing where he's holding the ball a lot as long as he is on a lot of these possessions because he's got a lot of responsibility throughout the game just to put them in good position.
You know, you just got back in the good graces with him.
Look, here, he's an all-NBA.
And you, Ryan Blackburn, not Matt Moore, are in here throwing shade. I'll give you my thoughts on that clutch stuff, and we'll talk a little more about the clutch questions. With Jamal, as well as the real reason that they lost this game, which was another player, and some of the guys that played well tonight. We'll talk about those guys coming up on Locked On Nuggets. What a hater. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or guesswork. And instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, you can meet with a local TurboTax expert in person, or you can connect online. They'll handle everything from W-2s to self-employed forms and work to get you every deduction. That's so important if you have any sort of independent contractor work in your life, as I do. Got to take advantage of every single deduction that you can find. You can upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver and gives real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it. If you have the means, I cannot stress this enough, how important it is to have this done by somebody at TurboTax. It is such a huge relief to know that somebody else is looking out for you and understands the code and understands the form. It is a huge relief to me for the people that we have do it. And TurboTax does a great job. I've used them in the past. They're awesome. For a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year, just file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. The NBA trade deadline is basically here, and we want to give you a free month of our new Everydayer Club to help you get ready. If you need a group chat to keep up with the chaos, join ours. The Everydayer Club gets you access to our group chat on Discord just for Nuggets fans. You got folks in there dropping trade stuff. They're dropping in links to talk about. There's lively debates. All of my live stuff during the game is going in there. You can be in a community just for Nuggets fans, just for Locked On Nuggets fans at the Everydayer Discord. We have national chats. You can hang out with fans across the league and provoke them if you want to go in there and tell the Thunder that they're grifters, because they are. You also get ad-free versions of this show. And if you sign up at the trade deadline on February 5th, you can use code DEADLINE to get your first month free. Just tap the link in our show notes to learn more. Again, I'm doing lots of stuff in there. I'm gonna put together like a scouting report on Peyton Watson's improvement, all those types of things. And I will not be including stuff from this game, Brian.
Yeah, good thing. Because also, by the way, on that Discord, like, I swear there were about 250 messages during the game tonight. Like, it is a popping Discord. People are very happy to be in there and very active. So if you want to be a part of an active Nuggets community at this time, like, there's no better place to do it right now. So check it out, guys. We got to talk about Peyton, because I was pretty disappointed with this game from Peyton. I was understandable of why it happened. And if we give grace to Jamal for being tired and being exhausted, I feel like it's fair, especially with Peyton, as the usage that he has carried, the games that he has played, the new role that he has accumulated. And he's also trying to do stuff defensively too. Like, he deserves a little bit of grace, I think, as well. However, it was a bad game tonight on both ends of the floor for Peyton. And I do think that it was pretty detrimental to some of the things that they were trying to do.
Our show co-host would tell you, I want to get his opinion, that I feel confident. This is what he'd say. I try not to put words in his mouth. He would say that everybody looked bad. So if everybody looked bad, then it's not fair to single out Peyton Watson. I singled out this as a very specifically bad matchup for him in the scouting report. I was like, this is a really bad one. And the reason is, you notice late in the game that Cade was consistently able to knock him off of balance, off of position. And David Adelman talked about this, where he said, look, it's hard for me to just tell a guy be sturdier and lower to the ground, because that's the only way for you to really kind of hold up. What Adelman's admitting there is like, look, Peyton's undersized for that matchup. And because they went, and Ryan noted this, which is a great catch because I didn't catch it, they went double big. So now Spencer's got to battle Isaiah Stewart under the rim, so he'll need an ice bath for the rest of his life. But that means that Peyton has to guard Cade, and Cade's bigger than him. Cade is a forward. Cade is a big forward playing point guard. And he's just really good at being able to create that separation. When he finds his floater or layup, he will find that shot over the next 3 to 4 years, and it's going to make Cade Cunningham into a 30 points per game scorer who also is going to average between 7 and 11 assists. And that's going to be like the next step for him. Cade is still finding that part of his game. His layups are really terrible, as you noticed.
And he's a great defender too. So
and he's an awesome defender.
Yeah, what a loser, right? It's just
so it was a bad matchup for Peyton, but part of my thought process, and he's on the other end, he's a turnover-prone player facing the number one team in forcing turnovers. And the problem is, like, Peyton did that tonight. Like, he turned the ball over a lot, whether it was carelessness or getting it stripped or not recognizing certain things. He made some really good fourth quarter passes, I thought, once he kind of settled in. But this was just like a really bad matchup. And the problem here is that if you want to be able to continue to have Peyton in the role that he has had in January, where he is this on-ball, dynamic, three-level scorer, he has to be able to handle matchups like this one, right? Now, if Peyton had been doing what he's been doing in January for the last 3 years on the Bulls or the Wizards or the Hornets or whoever, he would be a lot sharper. He just doesn't have that experience yet. I do not think that Peyton struggling against what I consider to be serious defenses is some sort of like, he's not that guy criticism. It's he is not that guy yet. And this team can't let him be that when they get fully healthy. And Adelman talked about that after the game, saying very specifically, again, in response to Ryan's question, he talked about how he was like, it's going to be a lot easier for him to be an impact defensive player when he doesn't have as much on his shoulders offensively. And that's really what it comes down to, is the stuff that Peyton has shown is awesome for his career, and it's really helped the Nuggets this season. But when you start getting into these matchups against the kind of teams that they're going to face really pretty much every night for the rest of the season, like, they have a few bad games, but for the most part, the schedule density and rest and travel gets easier. The opponents get harder. And against those teams, you're just going to need tighter play. You just have to have tighter play than what Peyton was able to give tonight. Does he get the same grace that the other guys get? Yes. But also, like, Bruce Brown had himself a really great game by the end of it. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s had like other big nights, but also Tim Hardaway Jr.'s not like running isolation. Again, it's also kind of unfair here because it's like, look, Peyton has to play this offensive creator role, which isn't ideal because everybody's out. But what I won't do is I won't sit here and be like, look what he's capable of when he's killing the Wizards, and not note like, hey, he's not quite at the level of being able to do this against a team like Detroit.
Yeah, and I do think that's the crux of the conversation for a Nuggets team that is trying to win at the highest possible level, where like what the gauntlet is going to be like when the playoffs come around. The first round is probably going to be a team like the Clippers, who are coming to town on Friday. I'm curious to see whether Peyton can score against them on a consistent basis. Then they're probably going to have to play the Thunder at some point, who are playing on Sunday. Like, I'm curious to see what Peyton can bring in that particular matchup when it's Lou Dort hounding him on a consistent basis. There's some, and like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, guys like that, who are like, they're just thieves of the basketball and are going to be very physical and are going to get away with stuff. And when Peyton gets off balance and chucks up a bad shot or settles for a bad three, like, these are things that eventually he will find ways to get that out of his system, or just make better decisions on a consistent basis by getting to his spots better. But it takes a lot of refinement with that.
I'll also say, I don't necessarily think that, like, I don't have he took a lot of shots. He took the most shots on the team, was not efficient. I don't have like a number of like, that was a terrible shot to take. He had like the one where he missed the rim and hit the backboard, right? Like, the shots were bad because the Pistons were able to make him uncomfortable, but there weren't possessions where I was like, why are you taking that shot? What are you doing? It's like, and I can't sit here as somebody that oftentimes is like, the result of the shot don't matter, the process matters, really criticize him. But so I'm not critical of Peyton's decision making tonight. It's more a matter of, hey, he had what you would expect for a player of his caliber coming into a matchup versus the Pistons. And it just kind of is indicative of where things are kind of at. And again, it's like, he's tired, like Jamal was tired. Well, Jamal picked it up and dug them down deep and got them back into that game late. And other guys did have good games. Jonas Valanciunas was great.
He was great.
Bruce Brown was great.
Great.
It's great to see Bruce having that game. I want to go back to Jamal for a second.
Okay.
You talked about the free throw thing. So I don't have clutch splits because they don't have them on NBA.com, but I do have this. In October, in 5 games, Jamal shot 95% from the line. In November, 87%. In December, 89%. In January, it's down to 84%. So what we do have here is, not that it's like, what was it? There's I can't remember. It's like ice cream sales and murders or something that are completely unrelated but correlated.
Oh, it's
happens
correlation, not causation.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Well, the whole thing is that murders and go up at the same time as ice cream sales because when it's hot.
Yeah. Correlation, not causation. There you go.
Right, but I do think there's like a little bit of correlation here between the amount of usage that Jamal has had to take on this month and the minutes he's playing, as David Adelman continues to be like, once again, blew past what I wanted to play him at. Yeah. Like,
really don't want to play him 38, but still played him 38.
Yeah, and I am at the point of they just need to, as soon as Joker gets back, there's going to be this like, now we're ready to go, and I'm going to be like, yeah, now you should let Jamal sit for 2 weeks. Like, Joker's back, let Joker handle shit. Sorry, for a 2-week period to get through this, and then like let Jamal sit down. Jamal continues to refuse to it. Like, I'm not even going to ask him about it. Like, it's the number one thing that I want to ask him, which is just like, I want to legitimately ask him, why do you feel like you can't admit you're tired? Not from it's stupid, you should, because he shouldn't.
Oh, you know what I bet it is? It's the time he spends with Volkanovski. With Volk for UFC and fighting and everything like that. Like that to me is very much once you wear down, your hands start to drop and you make yourself weaker, and it's the time for an opponent to really capitalize. Like, to me, he never wants anybody to know that he's bleeding. Anybody.
But I also think it goes beyond that, because I do think that most players in their 20s are kind of like that. And the biggest reason is just like nobody wants to hear it. Like, nobody wants to hear it. He doesn't want to say it and then have everybody killing them on social media about like soft whiners, professional players, blah, blah, blah. When it's just like, look, man, like I try really hard, and Ryan will tell you whenever there's an injury, I'm like, we don't know. We don't know what this is going to be. We do not know if this is serious or not. I'm constantly like, we do not know. We do not have the expertise.
Yeah.
But when I watch Jamal, I'm just like, oh, he's exhausted. Like, I know what an exhausted person looks like, and he's tired.
We've seen what it looks like when he's playing with burst and energy and really being explosive. And I want to, again, we can give the same grace to Peyton Watson as well. They were talking a little bit about the travel schedule from going from Memphis and being stuck in Memphis for a long time, and how that potentially impacted the team and impacted, like Jamal said, he wasn't able to do anything. Like, the team wasn't able to do anything physical over the course of that time because they're just stuck on a tarmac or in a hotel room for much of the time. So it wouldn't surprise me if like this team just looks like it has a little bit of a different energy level on Thursday, just a better energy level.
JV was great tonight. Really want to credit him for how well he played tonight. He was really good in this game. Valanciunas with 16 points, 16 rebounds. The Nuggets won the rebounding battle against this Detroit Pistons team, which is categorically insane.
Yeah.
If they had not had the turnovers, they win this game. As much as it's like Jamal's free throws, if they just did not have the turnover problems, they win this game, because they did such a great job on the glass, which is insane against the size and physicality.
Yeah. Pistons only turned the ball over 3 times in each half. So like, that's the other thing, is that they just got up shots and they're able to get some offensive rebounds out of it, and were able to get to the free throw line on occasion. They just, like, despite the fact that Detroit did not shoot well, they just kind of wore down Denver in some ways, but Denver fought back and they was doing so well. So this is a tough one. This is one that you'd love to have seen them pull out and find a way. JV deserves a lot of credit for that, by the way. 31 minutes for Jonas Valanciunas. To me, that is almost the most notable stat out there. Obviously, the 7 offensive rebounds are more notable than that. But like 31 minutes for a guy like this is only his 2nd game coming off of a calf strain. Not awesome, but also like, hey, he handled it and seemed to do it pretty well.
Plus minus a 0. They played him even in JV's minutes. Wonder what happened in the other minutes.
Only -2 in the Zeke Naji minutes or whatever it was. Like, that's
-4.
Hey, he was on the floor for some free throws, I think, because they're the double big thing. But I give this one wasn't really about Zeke, I don't think. Although 3 turnovers is
Yeah. overall, pretty good effort. You have to be really kind of satisfied with this, where I know it's going to be like, well, they shot really terribly. I mean, 48% from the field's not bad. 35% from three is not bad. They actually executed pretty well versus the Pistons when they were so shorthanded. It is a pretty good effort when you consider everything. It's frustrating for Nuggets fans, but it is kind of what it is. We've talked about Jamal and we've talked about the fatigue. What is this going to, we have one big question, which is what is this going to mean for them later? We're going to talk about that. Plus we'll give you an update on Nikola Jokic and his status coming up on Locked On Nuggets. There's nothing like being in an NBA arena. The crowd, the energy, the moment. Getting tickets, though, that part isn't always so simple. That's why Gametime has become the go-to app for scoring tickets fast without the hassle. It puts the advantage back where it belongs, with the fans. Pull up the Gametime app, pick an upcoming NBA game, and you're going to have tickets locked in within minutes. It's going to be that time. It's going to be March. It's going to be the Nuggets at home. It's going to be you-know-who back. It's going to be great opponents, and you're going to want to be there. You get the price up front, no surprise fees at checkout. You can check out the views from your seat so you know exactly where you are. Zone deals are going to let you choose the section, and Gametime picks the seats, and you save. Everything feels quick, intuitive, and stress-free from start to finish at Gametime. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. That's code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. And remember, it's gametime.co, not .com. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for joining us and making this part of your day. Appreciate you guys being with us. Okay. I will, first off, I will take the L here. Thought you Joker was going to get back before.
Sucks.
I was wrong. Ryan, he is not going to be back before. Ryan feels that he was correct about Shams' first update, where Shams said that he was on timeline and that wasn't good news. Mark Stein reported tonight that he thinks the quote earliest Joker will be back is February. I have a bad track record of going against Mark.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like they did also say, hey, he's going to be reevaluated in another week, and another week takes them into February. So I don't think that Mark is any off base on this.
I mean, I'm willing to double down. I'm already doing wrong, so I might double down again, Ryan. You're really telling me he's going to miss the Thunder game?
Yeah. It would be a weird first one to come back for, that's for sure, which is why I kind of thought that he would come back earlier in this stretch, like on this homestand.
Why do you think it's a weird one to come back for?
Because like that's a pretty intense matchup. That's a pretty intense game. And
yeah, but like if you're a competitor, are you like, oh, I don't want to go? That sounds really hard.
No, I just think you'd rather like warm up against the Brooklyn Nets.
Are they and like I'm also kind of like, are the Thunder super like the Thunder are annoying because they grab at you, but it's not like this like that Detroit Pistons team is way more physical than OKC.
Oh, and yeah, like I mean, in terms of physical matchups, the OKC Thunder, especially Isaiah Hartenstein, probably going to be injured, I think, for that one. Like that would not be that crazy for him to come back for. I just don't expect it to happen. But like, hey, I clearly have been wrong before. So no, it's too bad. And part of the frustration that I have with this situation is that it does seem like he could come back, and they are holding him out for additional caution, additional opportunity for staying healthy, additional rest, and then being super cautious. And like in a nutshell, like in a vacuum, that's fine. But like this Nuggets team is dragging now. Like they could really use a whole bunch of awesome minutes from big fella in the middle. You're muted.
Yeah, and like the Adelman pushed back in the press conference about the idea that they were holding him out because they won. He was like, that's nonsense. But Shams did report.
That's what he said.
That he was saying, like, they've just done so well without him that it affords them the opportunity. And so my thing is, I'm just like, every game he's out is taking more away from the other guys. And the most important thing, number one, period and dot, is for Nikola Jokic to be healthy when the playoffs begin. Nothing else matters after that if that's not the case. So I get it. At the same time, for the love of God, can we save Jamal Murray a little bit? Because my concern is that what's going to happen is that we're going to get to late March and it's going to be like, Jamal's not moving great. Jamal looks gassed.
He's shooting 32% from 3 over the course of the last month.
And then he struggles in a playoff series, and then it's going to be, see,
yeah.
Once again,
exactly.
Jamal Murray gasses out, can't stay healthy, when it's like, the man's done everything imaginable for the beginning of the season.
100%. And so this is where the Nuggets have to do the right thing for everybody on the roster. And I hope that what that means is that if they are trying to figure out whether it's a good idea for them to add a backup point guard, or if they can afford adding a backup point guard at some point, some additional ball handler body that could both score and pass, then I hope that they consider this. I hope that this is an opportunity for them to get somebody just to get through the rest of a really tough season and make sure that Jamal, an all NBA caliber player, is at his peak powers as well. So
I'll push back a little bit. I just don't understand what getting another guy really does.
I just think you can reduce minutes. You can have Jamal sit more during that stretch. And it's like you're talking about, Joker should take on more burden and responsibility when he comes back so Jamal can sit. The easier way for them to do that is to have somebody else that you could at least run the offense with. Because frankly, if Jamal sits, then they're running a lot of offense with still with Jalen Pickett and Bruce Brown and Peyton Watson. And now if Cam Johnson comes back and Christian Brown comes back, then maybe it is less of an issue, but you can understand the concern from a ball handling guard perspective.
I just have a hard time being like, they're going to trade for somebody and play him 20 minutes. I just have a hard time finding who that person's going to be.
Jose Alvarado, baby.
And he's going to the Knicks. And the 20 minutes, here's the other thing. If the minutes are bad, you know what happens.
Yeah.
If the guy's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just got here. I've never played with Joker before. What is this? Right?
It's fair.
And so I just don't know that it's as straightforward as it's kind of made out to be. But 32 minutes for Spencer Jones. I'm not worried about it. Spencer's on a two-way. He knows the deal. And Spencer's young. He can handle it.
His minutes are going down to 16 to 18 a night when everybody's healthy anyway.
I honestly don't care about Peyton Watson. He's young. That kid is unbelievably athletic and spry. He can handle it. It's fine. Bruce only played 23 minutes. That's totally fine. Tim Hardaway Jr. is the only other one I'm really worried about. Those are the two guys that I'm concerned about. Zeke, I'm play him into the bone. But Jamal and THJ are the two where I'm you do not want to gas out Tim Hardaway Jr.'s legs. You need good minutes from THJ in the playoffs. You need crisp jumpers, clean actions. You
may not need it every game, but you're going to need it in some games. You're going to need it in some, and he's going to need to be a guy that the entire reason why you brought him in a playoff theoretical environment was he can change a game in the manner that Julian Strawther did last year in Game 6, and he might be able to do it more often than Julian Strawther did it in the last year playoffs. So I think that's I'm not worried, but I do understand folks that have concern at this situation in terms of Denver racking up minutes, racking up miles, playing as hard as they have over the course of the last month, trying to make up for the fact that they are so hurt and so injured. You're muted again.
Sorry. I am officially never going to make predictions on when guys are coming back, though. I will not do it.
It's annoying. It's tough because I think your process was good. And if the Nuggets had a normal, subpar record during this stretch without the best player in the world, then I think you're right.
Maybe not. We'll see. Okay. Next up is the Nets. Michael Porter Jr. returns. The prodigal son returns. Will be an emotional game. Jamal was funny. He was it'll be great to see Mike. Gonna give him some buckets and send him on his way.
They'll probably do a tribute video
for sure.
That'll be an awesome one to see him on the trophy celebration stage again. That was obviously a highlight of the Nuggets' entire tenure, and hopefully this is a good opportunity for Nuggets fans to have a little bit of closure on the situation. Would be nice if Cam Johnson was back for that game. I will tell you that.
Sports Fitness Rant says, Matt, why do we suck at home? Ryan, why do we suck at home? I really think it's random. Like, you're not like the losses that you had early in the year, the ones that I was annoyed about, especially the Bulls one where you let that team come in on the altitude back-to-back and win when no team ever wins that game. Like, this is where it costs you, right? Like, they lost tonight versus the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference with the number 2 defense in the league when they were missing 4 starters. Shocker.
Yeah.
Right? They got beaten, the crap kicked out of them by a Hawks team that was feeling themselves and ran away with the game late. Their other losses have been relatively pretty good. I don't think that I just personally am not like they're bad at home. I think it's just a random thing.
Here's the breakdown. They are 12-9 at home now, and they are 19-7 on the road.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You know,
19-7, by the way, that's 2 more wins than any other team on the road in the entire NBA.
Yeah, they're the best road team in the league by far.
Yeah.
Which I think just kind of shows you how good they are, and that's why I'm not necessarily worried about it. I think this straightens out in March. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they'll go under 500 in March at home. I think they're gonna. I think the last 6 weeks of the season, the Nuggets are gonna be the best team in the league.
It better straighten out in March, because if they aren't anywhere close to what you're talking about, that's when you can start having some concerns of like, okay, well, maybe like it's kind of weird that the fully healthy or pretty close to fully healthy team isn't that much better. So hopefully they can find that stride.
I am kind of like also though. This is again. NBA basketball in March gets weird. They're going to struggle when Joker gets back. I'm going to be very clear about this. They're going to be like, what are we doing? It's going to be a very big adjustment. It is not going to be like click. If AG and Christian were back, then I would think it was going to be like click, but they're not. So you have guys that really do not necessarily know how to, like Spencer has no idea how to play with Joker. He is still trying to figure that out. Right.
Peyton as a ball handler is still trying to figure it out too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they're going to struggle when Big Fella gets back. And then they're going to probably struggle a little bit when Aaron and Christian get back. They just have to figure it out again. Hey,
I know you just said I'm not going to make any more predictions. When do you predict Christian Braun actually returns to the court?
I have no idea.
Straight up zero.
Like Adelman has said it's a comfort and mental thing, and those things are impossible to predict. I'm not going to, if you were like, what will be your reaction if he was questionable for Thursday? I'd be like, makes sense. What would your reaction be if he was not back until after All-Star? Makes sense. Like, I will say, like, I don't think Aaron's back before All-Star. That's my prediction, which I just said I'm not going to do, but I don't think Aaron comes back before All-Star.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just go the other way here on No Jinx. Nobody's coming back until after All-Star.
6 more weeks. It's an ambiguous timeline after that too. They might be back after All-Star, or they might not be.
Maybe after All-Star.
We'll see.
All right, it's gonna do it for Locked On Nuggets. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll be with you again on Thursday for Swipe and Gripe. We'll be with you on Thursday night after the Nets game.
I'll do a solo that one.
And then we'll be back with you on Friday for Boom and Gloom. And then we'll be back with you on Friday night for the Clippers recap. And then we'll be back with you on Sunday for Joan Jinx for the Thunder game. All coverage all throughout the week. Check it out at Supercast at LockedOnNuggets.supercast.com and here on Locked On Nuggets. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you guys again next time on Locked On Nuggets.
Free throws. Free throws.
You'll make them next time. It's fine.
They're free.